You know, Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark. Go back to when she won a national title. She didn't celebrate with her teammates. She mocked Caitlin Clark. So there's jealousy there. I certainly see that with her. I don't know about the league.
Dan Patrick just ignited a firestorm in the women's basketball world by calling out Angel Reese, and he didn't mince words. On his show, Patrick accused Reese of being jealous of Caitlin Clark's undeniable impact on the WNBA. The trigger? Reese suggesting that she's the reason fans are tuning in, not Clark. Patrick wasn't just throwing shade, he backed it up. He pointed to Clark landing the cover of Time magazine, a cultural milestone that few athletes, let alone rookies, achieve. His message was clear. If the league is booming, it's largely because of Clark's game-changing presence. And when people ask, why not Angel? The implication is simple. Clark's numbers, exposure, and influence speak louder. So what's really behind this tension? It's the classic clash of rising stars competing not just on the court, but for cultural relevance, and, as Patrick framed it, the spotlight right now clearly belongs to Clark.
By this. But there's nothing wrong with admitting that you watch a sport because of one singular person. People watched golf because of Tiger.
That moment says a lot more than it seems. It highlights how recognition works in women's sports. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the WNBA. She reshaped it, much like Gretzky did for hockey. But the tension we've seen, it might be about more than just basketball. It speaks to how fame is evolving, how recognition is shifting, and how women's basketball is entering a bold new era.
I do think that she's benefited. The WNBA has benefited from Caitlin Clark and the publicity. She's the one who has to answer these questions, though, after games.
Patrick caught onto something interesting. Angel Reese had her own take on the WNBA's rising popularity. While most of the buzz has centered around Caitlin Clark's impact on viewership, Reese offered a different perspective. She claimed that she is the reason for the surge in fans and ratings, suggesting the spotlight belongs to her just as much, if not more.
Basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Patrick didn't miss a beat. He picked up on what felt like a strategic deflection by Angel Reese. During a post-game interview, when asked about Caitlin Clark breaking attendance records, Reese didn't acknowledge Clark's impact. Instead, she quickly shifted the focus to herself. Patrick pointed out that this wasn't random. He framed it as part of a clear pattern. Reese consistently downplays Clark's role in the league's growth, pushing her own narrative instead. And that, he argued, speaks volumes.
Now, you can't factor in that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese don't have a good relationship, and Angel Reese has mocked Caitlin Clark, has roughed up Caitlin Clark a couple of times.
Patrick laid it out clearly. Angel Reese seems to be having a hard time with the way Caitlin Clark has reshaped the WNBA overnight. Look at what's happened since Clark entered the league. Sold-out arenas, record-breaking TV ratings, and nonstop media buzz. For someone like Reese, who's also been aiming to be the face of the league, that kind of sudden spotlight shift is tough to navigate. Patrick's point, the tension isn't just personal. It's about who's leading the league into its next era.
But make no mistake about it, Caitlin Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened in that game. It's Caitlin Clark.
And Patrick made it clear this isn't just a fluke. He highlighted several examples where Angel Reese tried to position herself as the reason behind the WNBA's rising profile. Right after a packed house in Chicago, Reese credited her social media presence for the turnout. But the numbers told a different story. Attendance surged after Caitlin Clark was drafted. Patrick likened the back and forth to a chess match. Clark's popularity rises naturally, and Reese responds with carefully timed moves to shift the spot.
WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese. Angel Reese has played a role in this, and she's a very good player. But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball. She is a social media star, and she has capitalized on that.
Patrick summed it up simply. Reese is playing chess on social media, while Clark is playing basketball on the court. He described Reese as a savvy media figure, someone who knows exactly how to stir the pot to stay in the headlines. Meanwhile, Clark keeps her focus on the game, letting her performance speak for itself. Patrick's take. Reese understands the value of this rivalry. Keeping the spotlight, whether through controversy or clever comments, helps boost her brand. And she's fully aware that staying part of the conversation is just as important as anything that happens on the hardwood.
Here, Angel Reese stays in the news. If Angel Reese was going into the WNBA and Caitlin Clark, no one would care. She'd be like, "Oh, okay, that woman's really good on the offensive boards." I mean, that's really what she is.
Interestingly, Patrick believes Reese has intentionally leaned into the role of the villain, a smart move from a branding perspective. By positioning herself as Clark's opposite, she creates a dynamic contrast that keeps both of them front and center in the public eye. Patrick points out that this isn't just drama, it's strategy. Reese knows that Clark's ability to draw fans is driven purely by her game, which is rare. So rather than compete with that on the court alone, Reese is carving out her own lane, using image and attitude to stay just as relevant.
But I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark. She thinks she's, the reason why this is all happening here. Caitlin Clark was going to get eyeballs whether she played against Angel Reese in LSU or not, because we had not seen anything like this before.
Patrick's assessment highlights a deeper truth. Clark doesn't need drama to shine. Her talent on the court speaks volumes. On the other hand, Reese has built her platform by carefully crafting her persona and fueling the rivalry. While she's undeniably skilled, Patrick suggests that Reese's path to fame relies more on her image and the drama surrounding her, whereas Clark's appeal is rooted entirely in her basketball ability.
Caitlin got all of this exposure. She's getting endorsements because she's unique. It's like Steph Curry's unique, Tiger Woods' unique. Not everybody gets it just because, hey, I put in 10 years in the WNBA or the PGA Tour or the NBA. It doesn't work that way. It's supply and demand. Do they want to buy your shoes or do they not? Do they want to play your basketball? Do they want to play with a Wilson? I mean, that's what this is about.
Patrick's comparison of Angel Reese to Draymond Green sheds light on a calculated move in Reese's career. He points out that Reese seems to be deliberately modeling herself after Green, known for his controversial persona in the NBA. Like Green, Reese appears to be leveraging drama to build her brand, focusing on creating buzz off the court rather than relying solely on her playing style to make an impact.
Angel Reese wants to be Draymond Green. She's more Dylan Brooks. Like, she's trying to be an instigator. She goes out of her way to criticize Caitlin Clark. So if you factor all of this in, that's when people have opinions that aren't basketball related.
Patrick directly accused Angel Reese of intentionally crafting a villain persona in women's basketball, much like Draymond Green did in the NBA. Green's brand is built around being the bad guy, disruptive, provocative, and tough. Patrick believes Reese is following this blueprint with Caitlin Clark as her primary target. He pointed to specific incidents on the court, such as when Reese appeared to hit Clark in the head during a block attempt, seeing it as part of a pattern of physical intimidation.
Yep, across the head, and they will go to the monitor to review this one.
Yeah, that's right.
Patrick views Reese's actions as deliberate tactics to provoke reactions and grab headlines, much like how Draymond Green is known for his physical style of play that pushes boundaries. Reese, according to Patrick, follows the same strategy when interacting with Clark, creating moments that draw maximum attention with minimal repercussions.
So she's sort of embraced a Draymond Green role here. But the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark.
Patrick highlights that Reese's embrace of the villain role is a calculated career move. Much like Draymond Green, who's built his brand through controversy, Ree understands the power of being the antagonist. By positioning herself in opposition to Caitlin Clark, she ensures that she stays relevant in conversations surrounding the future of women's basketball. This strategy increases her marketability, opening doors for endorsements and media attention in a league where visibility equals opportunity.
Embrace the villain. She understands social media. She's done quite well. She is literally cashed in. But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark.
Embracing the villain role certainly has its drawbacks. While it brings quick attention, it can also detract from an athlete's true talents. Just as Draymond Green's technical fouls and suspensions sometimes overshadow his defensive prowess, Reese's confrontational approach might shift focus from her actual skills like rebounding and scoring. Patrick notes that Rhee intentionally positions herself as the antagonist to Caitlin Clark's more positive image because controversy sells, and she's using their rivalry to boost her visibility and marketability, tapping into the massive buzz Clark creates.